Obituaries. We see them in the news all the time. In a world of 8 billion odd people, more than 100,000 die every day. But today's obituary is a little different. It's not about a person. It is an obituary for the written word, aka books. It may sound absurd, but it will make sense. When was the last time you picked up a book? When was the last time you spent hours just reading? No phones, no TVs, no distractions, just pure, blissful reading. For some of us, the answer could be yesterday, or in fact, even today. But for most people, the answer is days, months, or even years. The age-old pastime of flipping pages seems long gone. Reading has met its untimely demise. Books are gathering dust. Bookstores are shutting shop. Libraries are being replaced by the internet. Do you wonder why? Hello and welcome to Between the Lines. I'm Palki Sharma, and on this show we'll try to read between the lines, the stated and the unstated, the obvious and the hidden, to bring you the full story. Do you remember your first book? For many of us, it would be our book of nursery rhymes or numbers or the alphabet. Do you know what was the first ever printed book? This one, the Diamond Sutra. No one is sure why it was printed, but we do know this. On 11th May in 868 AD, a man called Wang Zhi commissioned a block printer. He asked him to create a 17.5-foot long scroll of sacred Buddhist texts. This is the earliest printed book we know of. Then came the printing press. This invention changed the game. It gave us the first mass-produced book, the Gutenberg Bible. Then there were paperbacks. They were very popular among students in the working class. They were followed by a more durable option, hardbound books. And these versions have been around for centuries. You know what's the best-selling book ever? The Bible. More than 7 billion copies of the Bible have been sold so far. The most expensive book is the Codex Leicester. It's basically Leonardo da Vinci's science diary. Bill Gates bought it in 1994 for $30.8 million. Today it could be worth over $50 million. Now, not all books are this expensive, but they sure are priceless. Like the Harry Potter series. In the early 2000s, millions of Harry Potter books were sold. If all Harry Potter books sold were to be placed back to back, they would go around the equator 16 times. Tells you a lot, right? For many of us, books defined our childhood. The huge feasts in the famous five left us hungry. You wanted to become a detective like Nancy Drew. Harry Potter made you wish Hogwarts were real. Amar Chitra Katha made history interesting. Books created a magical world, a world you could disappear into for hours. So why is that world disappearing now? For many reasons, but the most notable one is this: our digital addiction. Most of us now live in our phones. If you are watching this video uninterrupted, congratulations. You're part of a rare few. But if you paused this video, checked the notifications, scrolled your Instagram feed, looked at some tweets, and have now come back to this video, well, welcome back. You are now part of the new world order, a world that is easily distracted. Look at this study. It observed teens doing their homework. They were told to work on an assignment. The time given was 15 minutes, but most of them could not last even 2 minutes without texting or checking social media. Children are reading less now than ever before. In 2019, a survey proved this. A survey of people under 18 years of age. Only 26% of them were reading every day. Sounds dismal? It is. The figures are lower than any other generation. Young people are not reading enough. Many of them said they did not enjoy it. They found reading to be a futile task. And this was a global survey, but India is no exception. Although the reasons are different in India. Teens are not reading, not because they don't want to, but in a lot of cases because they are burdened by their studies. Fun fact, the pandemic saw a shift in this trend. People were at home and many of them took to reading books. We have some data from the US. An average American spent 20 minutes reading a book in 2020. This was an increase of 21% from 2019. But that's hardly enough to revive reading. In 2021, an average American read 12.6 books in a year. That's down from 15.6 in 2016. More than 50% of adults did not finish even a single book in 2021. In India, the trend is a little different. Reading was revived after the pandemic, especially for urban Indians. But what they read has changed. Young Indians are reading more self-help books or books on personal development. The numbers are higher than ever before, and that's a good thing. Any kind of reading adds value. It's not for nothing that they say books are your best friends. And social media is undeniably driving a wedge there. It is feasting on our attention spans, leaving little room for the quiet contemplation that books once offered. Why get lost in a Dickens novel when you can skim through 280-character hot takes on Twitter? Plus, there is a relentless assault of videos, cat reels, meme compilations, places you must visit. They too play a role in this tragedy. Who needs to read when they can watch a 10-second video of a cat playing a piano? Reading, it seems, is just too slow now, too tedious for our modern sensibilities. And it shows in the numbers again. I have figures from 2022. Book sales, global book sales, were down by more than 10% compared to 2021. Global revenue was the lowest in 5 years. It was around $76 billion. Publishing houses are shutting down like Amazon's Westland. For those that are not shutting shop, there's more trouble, like layoffs at the Penguin Random House. It's the biggest book publisher in the United States. So teens are not interested, publishers are in trouble, and bookstores are now ghost towns. In some countries, they're closing at an alarming rate, like Japan. There are currently close to 12,000 stores operating in Japan. That's a 30% drop since 2012. Basically, people are not reading books. And those who do are buying online or reading e-books or listening to audiobooks. Although technically, people are not necessarily reading less. We read all the time, news alerts, articles, emails, tweets, messages, ads. But to read a book, you must delve into it. To enter the story, you have to unplug. And that's what people are increasingly failing to do, which is a shame, to be honest. There is no other experience like reading a book. The pleasure of untangling intricate plots, of deciphering hidden metaphors, understanding history and concepts, and exploring the depths of human emotion. It has been obliterated by the instant gratification of emojis and GIFs. Which brings me back to the question, is reading really dead? This is the age of the image, and yet there is some hope. I called this episode an obituary in the beginning. Maybe that was premature. Thanks to those who stubbornly continue to defy the trend, clutching their paperbacks. Maybe they will inspire others. And while we are in the business of making videos, we cannot deny that the best stories cannot be told in 280 characters or captured in a fleeting clip or reel. They need a good old book. So pick one and tell us what you're reading. We look forward to hearing from you.